Justin Trudeau and Emmanuel Macron bash President Trump. Pay big time by Carmen Sabia, Politics US News for MadWorldNews.com. The feud between the United States, France, and Canada reached a boiling point on Thursday when French President Emmanuel Macron and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau formed a team to bash President Donald Trump. But if they had thought that 2-on-1 attack would scare the American president, they made a major mistake. You would think by now that world leaders would have figured out that acting tough with President Trump is a big mistake. It's almost laughable. 2 snowflakes against a lion. But Trudeau and Macron have apparently missed that memo. Or they thought that their friendship with the president would protect them from his wrath. They were incorrect, and it did not take them long to find out. At a joint press conference on Thursday, Macron and Trudeau took several shots at President Trump on the topic of the United States imposing tariffs on its allies. Both men were enraged at the president and did not hide it. "We can show the U.S. president that his unacceptable actions are hurting his own citizens." Yeah, right. American jobs are on the line because of his actions, Macron threatened. "Sometimes I've been criticized for being too friendly with President Trump. There is a friendship between our two peoples, and we have to maintain these ties. Secondly, I have repeatedly tried to convince President Trump on the climate side. No, we're not going to become California, that's for sure. On Iran, no. On trade, no. I am not President Trump, so I can't make decisions for him. You can be sure of that. Can I be criticized for the decisions of another leader? No. They could have criticized me for not standing up to him, for not trying to convince him. I think we've done everything we can and put everything on the line," he said. "This is ridiculous to think that they could be a threat to national security," Trudeau said. "In fact, we are the closest friend the United States has had in quite some time on the coming G7 summit," he said. "We know that President Trump likes to be unpredictable, but everything suggests he will be at the summit." Trudeau was also unhappy with President Trump's decision to end the Iran deal agreement. "Oh, well, you can pay for it. No problem. I don't mind. Let them pay for it if you're, unhappy. You're not comfortable with an agreement signed by your predecessor?" "What? It wasn't even signed." "Maybe just because it was signed by your predecessor, but don't stop others from respecting it, and don't push Iran to leave, because that's the best protection we have today," he said. Macron was more pointed in his attacks. "The United States, of course, is a strong economic power, but of course if they become more isolationist, exactly, they become further from its own history, its own values. Not at all. As a leader, if it decides to withdraw, it will be bad for the United States." "You think it was going to be bad?" "No, it would be bad for its image." "What?" "It would be bad for its citizens as well. I think President Trump knows that," he said. Come on, give it a rest, Macron, you idiot. The French president then took his attacks on the president to Twitter. "The American president may not mind being isolated. Yeah, we prefer it that way. But neither do we mind signing a 6-country agreement if need be." Go right ahead and do it. Because these 6 countries represent values. They represent an economic market which has the weight of history behind it and which is now a true international force, he said in a tweet. Well, Donald Trump here. That was the final straw for Donald Trump, who fired back on Thursday. Why isn't the European Union and Canada informing the public that For many years, they have used massive trade tariffs and non-monetary trade barriers against the U.S. Totally unfair to our farmers, workers, and companies. Take down your tariffs and barriers, or we will more than match you, he wrote. Good for him. Please tell Prime Minister Trudeau and President Macron that they are charging the U.S. massive tariffs and create a non-monetary barrier. The EU trade surplus with the U.S. is $151 billion, and Canada keeps our farmers and others out. Look forward to seeing them tomorrow. Prime Minister Trudeau is being so indignant, bringing up the relationship that the U.S. and Canada had over the many years and all sorts of other things, but he doesn't bring up the fact that they charge us up to 300% on dairy, hurting our farmers, killing our agriculture. That's what they want, the New World Order. If they think that bullying, if they think that bullying and attempting to intimidate President Trump is going to help them avoid tariffs, it is a major mistake. No one has been able to do it thus far, and it is tough to believe that France and Canada would be the first. I mean, really? You know who Trump has dealt with? First of all, he's gone against sharks in Manhattan. You can't, in order to make those real estate deals and become successful, you have to be a shark. These two are just like little snowflakes in front of President Trump. And if they want the Iran deal, let them pay for it. Isolationists, no, we don't want migrants, infloods of migrants in our country like you guys, and taking away freedom of speech like you do your citizens. I mean, it is unbelievable that America would stand for this kind of garbage. That's why Trump got into office. And these two snowflakes, and first of all, Macron should not have won the election. It was a rigged election for Macron to win that election. It's just disgusting that this little twerp, I should call him, won the election. People didn't want him in office. I mean, come on. What a loser these two guys are. Really, Trudeau and Macron. I don't have any words just to describe these two characters. They're just so weak. Weak. That's what I would call them. Weak. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.